The great triumph of Sangorski and Sutcliffe was the binding designed by Francis. He was the imaginative genius behind the firm, whereas Sutcliffe was more a technician. The binding was on a copy of the Rubaiyat of Omar Khayyam, and it was commissioned by Sovereign's bookshop in Piccadilly, with the express intent of being the most valuable, luxurious binding ever produced. It featured 1,051 precious stones and 3 peacocks on the cover, inlaid in gilt like this, and on the reverse a skull to reflect the poem's emphasis on the fragility of life. The essence is to enjoy your life as much as you can whilst you have it, because nothing comes afterwards. Unfortunately, the bookseller at Sutherland's who had commissioned the binding hadn't sought permission from his superior at the firm, and when they were presented with the bill, there was some shock in the company. They first listed the book at the price of £1,000, and they struggled to sell it. A customer from New York made an offer of £800, which they politely declined. Several years later, they wrote to that customer from New York, asking if he would like to purchase the binding for £750, which he politely declined, and counter-offered £650. At something of a loss, they then consigned the binding to Sotheby's, where it sold for a total of £405 to the customer from New York. This customer then had to find a way of getting the book from London to New York. So he booked it on the next available and most impressive ship. Unfortunately for him, that ship was the Titanic, and so the most lavish, most expensive bookbinding of all time now lies lost at the bottom of the Atlantic Ocean. Not to be put off, the firm commissioned another copy of the binding, which was produced and finished shortly before the Second World War. Unfortunately, it was kept in a bank vault in the City of London, which took a direct hit in the Blitz, and that copy was also destroyed. A third copy was completed to the original designs, and this can now be seen in the British Library, but it's not quite as impressive as the original.